though they only have about 700 cars, they obviously are on the market. They're in Beverly Hills, all over the place.
It's a proof of concept.
They've got 28 cameras. They've got LiDAR and radar. You've had a different approach. I think 8 to 9 cameras and the neural network. Why do you feel that is going to be the equivalent in terms of safety profile?
Oh, I think it'll be better.
Why?
Because the way that the road system is designed is for AI. It's for intelligence, biological neural net, and eyes. That's how the whole road system is designed. So what will actually work best for the road system is artificial intelligence, digital neural nets, and cameras. And we also have the microphones so the car can hear emergency vehicles and that kind of thing.
Right. You are going to have the microphones to hear the
you need to hear.
That was a question. Right. You need to hear a fire engine or a police car.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But that's how the whole road system is designed. It's not designed for shooting lasers out of your eyes. And what we found is that when you have multiple sensors, and they tend to get confused. So do you believe the camera or do you believe the LiDAR? Mm-hmm. And if you get confused, that's where that's what can lead to accidents. So we used to have, for example, radar in the car, but we found that the radar and the camera would sometimes disagree, and then you don't know which one to believe.
So it wasn't about expense; it was just about
no.
Yeah. Are you seeing the data right?
In fact, we turned off the radars in the cars.
You turned off the radar. Yeah. So I mean, are you comfortable right now? If I were to say to you, all right, let's go. Do you think that you're there in terms of the safety profile you're seeing right now?
Yeah, we could take a ride today if you want. Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to take a ride with you anytime you want, wherever you want. Logistics capability to operate sort of a ride-hailing fleet at scale, because you mentioned, obviously, let's call it the end of 26. Are you going to have an app? Are you there? Do you have that ability?
I think we can figure out an app. Somebody tells me.
You're not worried about it?
Well, Tesla already has an app.
Yeah, I know. But so is there going to be a ride-hailing app you'll introduce?
How to ride an app, that's really not the...
It's not too hard?
No.
XAI can probably do it for you in like an hour.
Tesla can ride apps just fine.
Do you ever consider licensing the technology at some point?
Yes, there are a number of major automakers that have talked to us about licensing self-driving, and we're very much open to that. I think the more we demonstrate the capability of self-driving, the more that they will want to license it, and we're happy to help.
Back to the safety profile, because it's going to obviously be something a key focus. Business Insider, take it for what you want, but I saw this over the weekend. They did a test between Waymo and Tesla, and they weren't critical at all.
Business Insider is not a real publication.
No, but it did seem
they're a fake.
Regardless of whether we want to have a debate about their journalistic integrity, which I don't. The test itself. Let me just share it with you and get your reaction, which was. The Waymo, ultimately, they said, proved better, in part only because it avoided, with its geofencing, one very difficult intersection that the Tesla chose to go through. It stopped at a red light, but then it went through the red light. What's your reaction?
Look, I'm not going to comment on some Business Insider article.
But is that a concern at all? Because, in a way, there's no geofencing, so it's like it's happy to go on the highways in a way that perhaps a Waymo is not. I guess my question is that a concern at all for you in terms of it encountering